Hey, how you doing? My name is Mr. Joe Barczak. I am your student's English 12 multiple perspectives teacher. As you can see, here is my Schoology homepage. I differentiate my classes by quarterback, and I currently teach 2 sections of English 12 multiple perspectives, 3 sections of English 10, and 1 section of Lit Block 10. So let's take a look at one of these English 12 multiple perspectives classes. They're very similar, if not the same, but for the sake of this, let's take a look at Mr. Josh Allen and our second hour. So Schoology is going to be our main platform. I'm a big Schoology fan and believer, and I think it's just the best way to get the students the resources and keep track of everything. It can be assumed, I'm a huge fan of Schoology. So here's our page. I have our syllabus right here, which I'll give you a peek at in a second. These are my teaching with purpose slides or my daily lesson plans. Every day this is going to be updated so the students know what we're doing. I put this on a projector so when they walk into class they can look up and see it. Every student loves to walk in and go, "Hey, Mr. Barczak, what are we doing today?" That way, when every kid walks in and asks me that, we can put it up here on the board. All right. Mr. Paul Sarmiento is my co-teacher in this class, so we teach this class together, which is fantastic because one, I love teaching with Paul, and two, it lets us both help the students as much as possible. So these daily agenda or teaching with purpose plans can also keep the students updated on everything that they need to know that is multiple perspectives. So this was today, this was yesterday, this was Friday, and so on and so forth. You can click through these and see exactly everything that we've been working on, okay? I keep the motif of Josh Allen throughout it, and those are everything you'll ever need. So if your student is absent, they can look at this. If they forgot what we did, they can look at this. If they're curious what's going to happen tomorrow, they can take a look and see here, okay? Introductory materials are basic get to know me assignments, icebreakers. I start every class with the daily detail. So the daily detail is a question that gets us going, gets us talking. Our English 12 class is largely revolves around whole class discussions. So if we're not engaging in dialogue or talking, the class is really stale and we're not accomplishing our goal. We're not learning. So talking about something that may seem useless gets us going and gets us ready to engage about the stuff that we really need to get to, the content. Today was, what is something you're appreciative or grateful for? Some kids said their family, some said that they got a coffee this morning, some said that they have their own car to drive to school, they have their own parking spot, whatever it is. It gets us talking about something that we're comfortable with and is easy for us, right? I also make sure to share every day just so the students know things about me. Through this process, we're getting to know each other. So not only are the students learning about Mr. Sarmiento and I when we answer these questions, but we're learning about them. They're learning about each other. We're all being a little vulnerable, and that way we can better get to know one another and be more comfortable speaking and discussing the stuff that really matters. Okay, so we just completed a personal statement. Actually, it was due today, on Tuesday. That was our first major summative assignment. I will get to the grading breakdown when I get to the syllabus. But that is pretty much it for what our homepage of Schoology looks like. If your student is ever not sure what they're missing or anything with Schoology, they would just scroll over here. For them, it says grades, but it'll be on this left-hand side, and it will tell them exactly what they're missing and give them the hyperlink to take a look. All right? Okay, so our syllabus here. And stay with me. All right, here we go. So here's my information. Here's Mr. Sarmiento, my co-teacher's information. It's a general about the class. These are my free periods and Mr. Sarmiento's free periods. We really encourage the students to make sure to take advantage of that, and we can help them out. All right, so just I guess as far as expectations or what's going on with this class, we start every day with the daily detail that I talked about. So students are going to come in, they're going to sit down, they're going to open their Chromebooks, and they're going to see in that discussion the daily detail. They are going to comment on the daily detail on the discussion. One, I like giving them something little to do to get them going to accomplish. Two, it acts as my backup attendance. I'm sure, especially with the COVID year last year, but every once in a while, I have someone from the front office reach out to me. Hey, was Kevin in class today? I'm pretty sure I marked him on Hack and I did get him, but just to double check, I will go to my daily detail for Tuesday, August 31st, and see, yeah, Kevin said he's appreciative of his dirt bike. So he was here, clearly. He commented on the daily detail. So it acts almost as my backup attendance as well. The kids sit down. I give them the first 3 or 4 minutes to get their bearings, get their Chromebook open, make sure their assignment was submitted from yesterday, make sure they're good to go. Maybe finish that last text message, get those AirPods out. After the 3 to 4 minutes, I tell them to take their AirPods out, put their phones away, eyes up here, and we discuss the daily detail. All right. Then towards the end of class, the last 2 to 3 minutes, I will give them as a way to decompress a little bit. I'll say there's 3 minutes left in class. If you'd like to take your cell phones out now, you're welcome to. And you can go ahead if you need to close your Chromebook and pack up a little bit, that's fine. We're good for today. All right. With the cell phones, for the most part, your students are seniors. I'm not going to treat them like little kids. I know it's hard not to have their cell phones with them. And I don't think that it's necessary to have that hard stance, at least in this class, with cell phones. Now, this is essentially how it works. I give them those first couple of minutes to finish that Snapchat, finish that text, finish that last song, and then once the daily detail starts, eyes up here, I want that stuff away. When we are doing individualized work and I give them permission, they are allowed to take their cell phones out again and listen to music. Again, it can't be unprompted. I don't want to just see a kid all of a sudden he's got his phone and he's scrolling when we're working. But if I say, you know what, okay, now we're going to work on our personal statements. Feel free to take your phone out, listen to music. I want to see you working, not scrolling. That's my big point of emphasis. If I see you scrolling, it's game over. The phones will go away. All right. They've done a really good job of doing that. I don't think, again, I'm fortunate your students are fairly mature for seniors in high school. So they understand the limits here and they've been very good with it. So that's going to be our policy going forward. If it becomes a problem, my policy with cell phones is I issue an all class warning and then it's a referral. So say if Malik in the front row here has his phone out and after multiple times, we've been like, hey, Malik, let's have that phone away. If it continues to be an issue, I'm going to go, all right, Malik has his phone out. Everyone in the class, just used our. You have all been warned now. Malik's phone is out. Malik, put your phone away. And if I see another phone, that student is going to get a referral. Okay. I don't think it should come to that, and I don't want it to have to come to that, but that's essentially how it works for my class. All right. Let's see here. Late work, I think, is another big aspect. As I have right down here. Let me go through the categories, I guess, really quick. So the grading is 70% summative, which are essays, tests, quizzes, and for any kind of formatives, those are like in-class activities, participation. I have here formative quizzes, so that would be something that was like a lighter kind of assignment that maybe they picked a couple different options. But it's mostly our in-class work, and that's typically the bulk of what we do. It's practice in a sense. And then homework is 5% across the district. I don't, for the most part, give homework. All right. I think your students have enough going on that I don't need to inundate them with work outside of the class. Now, if they're not doing the work in class, they're going to have homework, right? I pride myself in giving them enough time in class to do the work. I also pride myself in being flexible. So sometimes we may have to move that due date. As long as we're working in class and learning, I have no problem pushing back that due date. But if I give you the whole class period and you don't get anything done, I'm not going to mess with that due date. Okay. And for the most part, the students have understood that and it's working out well. But that is pretty much how it works as far as it goes with, our formative and in-class work and homework, I guess, in a sense. Late work. So I give the students until the end of the semester to get in late work. The only caveat is it's half credit. So once it's past that due date or that due time, it's late. And, typically I'm a pretty sensible person, I like to think. I'll give a freebie here or there if it's an honest mistake, but if it's becoming a recurring theme that Johnny just can't seem to get this in on time and he's got an excuse, I'm not having it. So again, every once in a while, yeah, I'm very lenient in the fact it's like, oh, Mr. Barczak, I'm so sorry, I had it done, I just forgot to hit submit. Okay, I appreciate it. That's your freebie. Thanks for communicating and being honest with me, and just please make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, thank you. I'm again understanding when it comes to things like that. I just don't want it to become a recurring theme. So with summatives, it is not half credit. It is every day late. It is one letter grade off. Again, I don't foresee these being issues, and as long as the students communicate with me, we're not going to have a problem and we can sort these things out. I'm a big advocate for communication and the students advocating for themselves. If you have a question, I'm always open. But I'll be honest, I'd prefer if the students reached out to me personally if they have questions about the class. So, if your student is struggling or something's going wrong, I'm always here to talk to. But I would also like the student, if they think they need an extension on something, to email me. I think they're old enough now that they can take accountability, and I want them to work on it. So if they need an extension or if they're having trouble with an assignment, I would expect them to email me first. All right. If you ever need me, again, I'm always here for you. My email is joseph.barczak@d303.org. I am available by phone call, Zoom, Google Meet. I have my email on my phone. As long as I'm awake, I'm responding. So I pride myself in that. If you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out, whether that just be clarification. All right. As you can probably expect for a lot of these classes, it's split up into different modules. We have 4 modules here. I'm sorry, 6. We're starting with, the class is about perspective, right? So the whole point of this class is to look at literature through different perspectives. And we have the critical lenses that we're going to get into. We started here with a personal statement. It's about ourselves, our own perspectives. We are going to be reading a story called And the Mountains Echoed by Khalid Hassani. It's a pretty great book. He wrote The Kite Runner as well. And the Mountains Echoed, I enjoy because it's vignette style. So it's different storylines and different chapters. If a student does fall behind, they're not completely behind and playing catch up. They can kind of catch up at their own speed because it's different characters and storylines. They end up intertwining at the end, which is great. But I think it's a great way to learn together and look at the perspectives of these characters that are in Kabul, Afghanistan, in these certain time periods, right? We're also going to be reading 12 Angry Men, as you can see. We read Othello, which I really enjoy. I've taught Othello for a couple of years now. I used to teach it to my sophomores. I like it better with my seniors because I think they're more mature for it and they understand it a little bit better. We are using No Fear Shakespeare, which I personally love because I think a lot of the times the kids get bogged down on the Shakespearean semantics or language, and they just give up a little bit. So with that No Fear Shakespeare, it's nice because they have on one page the Shakespearean language, and then on the next page they have plain English what it's saying. And a lot of the times we're going to lean on the plain English side, but as we go, they get better with just looking at the Shakespearean language and breaking it down. And you'll see you get to understand it better and better as time goes on. We also, towards the end of the school year, we are going to give them a chance to do a research paper about their own perspective. We spend a lot of time going through other perspectives and looking at the world through other people's shoes, and then they're going to talk about their own perspective. All right. It's a fairly standard grading scale, as you can see. And that is pretty much it on the syllabus. So again, if you ever have any questions, please reach out. I'd love to meet you personally or face to face through Google Meet or Zoom or even a phone call and clarify anything for you or just get to know you a little bit. Schoology is our home base, so anything your child needs to do is going to be done on Schoology. The grading is done on Schoology first, and then it is synced to Hack. I pride myself on having the grades as up to date as possible. At least every week, the grades are up to date. So if your student is giving you one of those, well, he hasn't entered it into Hack yet or Schoology, not in this class. It's almost always updated. And the way it works is my Schoology gradebook syncs and links exactly to Hack, so it's identical. All right. I know you have access to Hack and probably not Schoology, but it's very easy to find these assignments through Schoology and or Hack. It starts with Schoology, it links. All right. Again, if you have any questions, reach out. Welcome to English 12 Multiple Perspectives. And I look forward to talking and meeting, and I'm already enjoying having all of your students in my class. So have a great day.